Good morning, everyone. Happy Christmas in July. This is Tanya at Sidegigcrafts, and I am bringing to you a fun project. Some of you, many of you, maybe most of you have probably made these at some point in your life. Today, I'm going to remind you, this is an option. Look at this cute little Christmas bauble that I have created from some of my leftover strips of cardstock. I'm going to show you how to make these. Do you guys remember making these as kids, or did you make them as kids? They're fun to make with your kids. Now, here's the thing. It's Thrifty Thursday, and I'm trying to think of different ways to, well, it's Thrifty Thursday when I'm recording this. I'm realizing I'm not posting this till tomorrow, but that's okay. It could also be considered an old friend Friday. So we can do lots of fun different things. Now, what we can do with this, you want to make sure that you're using cardstock that's going to be sturdy enough to hold its shape, so when it bends, it's not going to be just squishy. You want to make sure you can use your cardstock. You can use double-sided cardstock, would be amazing. I don't have any with me that I want to cut up right now, so I did cut this up. I thought it would be pretty with the color on my tree and the white. I don't mind the white on my tree because it reminds me of snow, and my tree is ginormous, so it's it'll be fine. So you can use old Christmas cards, maybe cards from last year, maybe cards you didn't like. Maybe you've got boxes of old Christmas cards you don't know what to do with because you've already sent them out to your friends and you don't want to send them out to them again. So, you know, year after year, we don't want to send the same cards. So maybe you've got some of those in your stash. Maybe you've got, I don't know, other thick paper that you can use. Cards are great because they're all the same length, and you just cut it into strips. These are 1/2-inch strips. I did this one with a 1/2-inch strip and 10 of them. I think we're going to go with 12 because I think this is a little bit, we could fit more in here and make it a little more full, and I think it'll be pretty. We'll do that together. These are with 3/4 inch strips. We're going to try that one too. So basically, you're going to cut those strips that you have, the scraps. You can also do it in all different colors. You don't have to keep the same paper. So maybe you want to mix and match some of your scraps. I've got these cut up into other things, but maybe you want to do one with some different Christmas colors and put those together. They're beautiful when you do that. So feel free to mix and match and make them awesome. Today I'm just going to use these. So let's find, these are all, oh, and they're cut to 6-inch length. So it just, you know, your strip, these are cut to 6-inch length. Let me rephrase that. You can make them as short or as long as you want to. It's going to determine the size of your Christmas ball. So if these were shorter, then it would be a smaller ball. So yeah, I'm making them this size just to make it a little easier to see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to go with 12 today because the 10 is a little barren, I'm thinking. I want a little more sparkle. So we're just going to take our 12 strips, or however many you choose, and we're going to stack them together like this. And we are going to use, well, I'm going to use my crocodile because I know my crocodile will go through all of that. You may choose to use an all, your crocodile, of course. You can use anything that you can poke a hole with that's going to be big enough for a brad to fit through. So I'm going to use the small hole in this one because this is the, and I actually have one that's cut a little short, so I'm going to go in just a little bit further and make that hole. Come on, crocodile, don't lock up on me. My lock slides sometimes, I'm thinking. That's what happened, exactly what happened. And you want to make sure these are lined up right, because if you don't, you're going to get some funky, it's going to be harder to open up your decoration. So there we go. All right, so we've got that punched. Now, next step, this is so easy, you guys. Get out your brads. Get out that collection of brads that you've got. Use any color you want, okay? I'm going to use some metallic ones because I have them. You want to make sure that the hole that you punch is not too big for your brads. And I'm using metallic ones because I think they're prettier with my paper. I'm mixing and matching colors. I really don't care. I am mixing metals. Oh my word, no. Heaven forbid. I'm not even paying attention to that. For me, it doesn't matter. So use some of your decorative ones. Some brads out there have jemmies on them. Those would be fun. Whatever you want to do, make it yours. Make it beautiful. whatever you think is beautiful. I'm just showing you the basics here. And then you're just going to slip that brad into that little hole and open it up. Doesn't this come together easy? Do you remember making these, you guys? I remember using the last year's Christmas cards because we grew up, I grew up in a, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, I'll just say that. And we found ways to create things around the house to, you know, to decorate for Christmas, and you know, we appreciated what we had and we used it. So we would use cards that weren't sentimental and we didn't necessarily need to keep. We would cut them into strips and do this from time to time. So you see, some of these are a little bit different length, and that's what happens, and that's okay. We can still work with that. But it'll be a little bit harder than if they're all exactly the same length. So I was a little sloppy in my cutting. So once those are done, you just start working these apart. And there you go. We're gonna make a ball, a Christmas ball. And you can just tie a string to it or ribbon. You can add little pine boughs or little decorations. Hi, Cassie. You done with your breakfast? You are? I'll just open that up. And is that the last one? Okay, and then you just kind of, you know, manipulate them to the shape that you want them. And that's it. The really cool thing about this is if you have the patience, you can put them all back in the stack after Christmas. Just push these back into the little pile and you can store them flat for next year. Or undo the brad, I guess would probably be easier. There you go. That's it. That's it. Isn't that fun? It'll go great on your tree. I'll be hanging these on mine, I'm sure. So there's one. Now let's do the one with the 3/4 inch because I haven't done that one yet. We're gonna do 12 strips again, I think. 1, 2, 3, make sure they're all going the same direction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, we're gonna do 10 strips because before I started recording, I thought that would be better. Since they're thicker than those, it may not take as much. And look, they're all different lengths again. I'm gonna cut these down just to make it easier. How did I do that? I totally measured that wrong. But that's all right. Let's make them a little shorter and see what happens. Besides, if you make them shorter, you won't need as many either. That just flew everywhere. So let's see how long these are now. These are about 5.5 inches now. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna use our small hole again because I got out the tiny brads. If I use the big hole, they'll just slip right through, so that won't work. And there we go. Poke that through. They're so tiny, they're hard to handle. Look how quick and easy that comes together. All right, and let's go ahead and spread these out. First one's the hardest. This paper isn't glossy like the other one was. It's a little bit harder to spread. That's okay. It'll still work. Come on. It'd be fun to make like a garland with these maybe. It's true. My cat. Oh my goodness. See, this one with the thicker paper is going to cover, you know, it's going to be cover more space because it's thicker paper. So it's going to be more full than the thinner paper. So depending on what you like, you've got some options here. Now, of course, those aren't the only size options. You can do them however thin or thick you have. You can do them mixed as long as the papers are the same length. They can be different thicknesses or width. I think I kind of prefer this thicker one better. A little more substantial. But if you're going for a very delicate tree, this would be gorgeous. So anyways, I just wanted to bring those back to you guys, remind you of a fun craft to do on your own or with your kids. It's inexpensive because you've already got the materials. If you don't have brads, you could probably tie a string through there or a cord. You could take a cord from this end all the way through the middle to this end and then make a loop. That would be nice and easy too. And that could hold them together. You just use knots to keep them in place. And you know, there's lots of things you could do. Add some ribbons, some trim, have fun with it. So I hope that was a good reminder of an inexpensive, fun craft to do on your own with your children or grandkids maybe, or, you know, neighbors, whoever. And just a fun way to create for the holidays. So I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Staying cool out there this summer, and I wish you all the best. Love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.